Hello, everyone. My name is Joel, and today I will be discussing the similarities between the Cold War and the current day events that we are living through. I chose this topic due to being an example of how history repeats itself and how we can learn from our history and better prepare for our future. I'll be starting off with the uh, war in Ukraine. This is the first war in which a major power is a primary combatant since the beginning of the information age, where the internet has connected the world in such a way that everyone can see the day to day lives of the people within the war zone, whether they are civilians or combatants themselves. This conflict is paralleling the Vietnam War with specific differences that help prevent the anti war sentiment that led to the US withdrawal from Vietnam. The Vietnam War was used as a proxy war between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Two nations couldn't directly fight due to their nuclear weapons and the idea of mutual assured destruction. So, they resorted to a war of ideologies and battled in nations on either the side of capitalism for the United States or communism for the Soviet Union. The United States took a direct approach in the war, with hundreds and thousands of soldiers being sent across the Pacific to fight directly in the war zone alongside South Vietnam. This ultimately led to the general public turning against the war and increased in tensions between the US and the USSR. NATO has learned from this and has chosen a less direct means to fight the proxy war within Ukraine. War is being fought through the donation and usage of equipment and weaponry instead of the lives of soldiers. This has assisted in keeping the general public in support of the war and allowed the small nation of Ukraine to fight against the massive nation of Russia. The assistance from NATO has turned this war from a unwinnable war for Ukraine into a successful defense of Ukraine's independence. The next topic of the Second Cold War is between the United States and China and the technology arms race that is between both nations. This battle of technology mirrors the space race of the Cold War against the USSR. The space race was a competition between the United States and the Soviet Union to see who could develop a superior spaceflight capability, and acted as a way for them to expand their rocketry technology in a non hostile way. The space race led to an immense advancement in technology for both nations and made it so that if either one started to fall behind the other, it could lead to a decisive victory of the Cold War. While the Soviet Union made early progress in the space race, it was ultimately concluded when the United States landed Apollo 11 on the moon with Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins. The technological arms race we are currently facing with China is following a similar course. The current progression of artificial intelligence is in China's favor, and the United States has started to shift more towards the idea that artificial intelligence funding is a necessary act, as AI has an immense potential for war with the development of autonomous weapons and machines of war. That concludes my presentation, and I leave you with this question: do you believe that we are within the Second Cold War? Experts are still debating it, and I personally believe that we are, but let me know what you think.